Come on.
What's up, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, giving you another Album of the Month review, and it also happens to be a Viva La Vinyl review because I just got this hot off the press in the mail yesterday. It is a great record, Ray LaMontagne's Ouroboros, and man, I was waiting for this, so excited. I'm a huge Ray LaMontagne fan. I call him Sweet Ray. I've even got a nickname for the guy. I followed his career from the beginning, since Trouble and on, and he's never let me down. I mean, all of his records go from very good all the way up to classic. I think Ouroboros falls somewhere in between. It is truly great, and it is meant to be listened to as a whole. And I think that is my favorite thing about this record, and I really appreciate that Ray kind of went out of his way to do that and expand as an artist. And, you know, he's lost some fans on the way because he, with his last album, Supernova, which went already into different sonic territories, you know, some people are saying, yo, Ray, stick with the folk. Like, it's almost like what Bob Dylan went through in the 60s. And it's funny that happens. You know, artists can get pigeonholed into what people want them to be. But Ray, as a true artist, and I appreciate that so much, he just continues to grow and evolve. And on this album especially, he plays lead guitar on all the tracks, and it is just mind-blowing what this guy does on lead guitar. On the lead single, Hey No Pressure, just such an awesome bluesy riff. This guy is turning into like Jimmy Page all of a sudden. He's got some of the heaviest stuff he's ever done on record on here. The Changing Man and While It Still Beats are very just rocking songs and blistering. And also production-wise, Jim James from My Morning Jacket, who co-produced this with him, takes him just into realms that we've never heard Ray before, which is really cool. And I love the fact that the rest of the bandmates from My Morning Jacket perform on this album with him and will on the tour. So excited to see him play at the Fox in Atlanta in a few months. I can't wait to see that. I hear they're playing this record as a whole, including some of his old hits. So, back to this album. My favorite track from it is the one that starts off side B, In My Own Way. Such a beautiful song, so lush sound-wise, and again, the guitar work on it, the lead riff that comes in as kind of the pre-chorus, it is just beautiful, and the guitar tones, and it's just it's both relaxing and rocking at the same time. And this is kind of new territory for Ray. I think it's one of his best songs of all time. It's that and Hey No Pressure are definitely the two standouts to me, and those do stand alone as singles. The other tracks tend to, you know, they go in and out of each other, so it's harder to listen to them as single pieces. But I think the weakest track is probably the first song, actually, Homecoming, although it is growing on me quite a bit. It just, it's clocks in at over 8 minutes, and it never quite builds up to anything. It just kind of keeps going with this very mellow vibe, and it's talking about nature-esque, just picturesque, the sun streaming through the trees, and very pretty. It reminds me of kind of like Bon Iver music, actually. But, you know, you need patience for that kind of music. And I think, you know, Ray actually put out a statement before this album came out, kind of inviting us to go along with him for the ride. And it is definitely worth taking, because the album continues to, on side A especially, it builds up to this kind of manic craziness, and then on side B it kind of takes us back down. And of course, Ouroboros, the meaning of that term is a snake eating its own tail, and Ray has gone on record saying that the whole album, if there is, you know, a concept to it, it's simply about going out on the road on side A and then side B kind of coming back home. Which makes a lot of sense when you listen to it a couple times. You get that vibe. I don't think it's as deliberate a concept as, you know, Dark Side of the Moon, for example, which there's a song on side B that's an instrumental, a murmuration of starlings, which is probably the closest thing that sounds very Pink Floyd-esque. But it's still beautifully done. I can't complain, you know, even if Ray were to just do cover songs, I would still love it, because Ray just, sweet Ray, he's got that voice that, you know, anyone would die to have, that scratchy, naturally raspy, yet smooth, that, you know, Ray is just, he's an artist, you know, he's so talented, both in his voice, also in his songwriting, and now in further exploration of new sonic sounds. I just love this album. And then it ends off with the song, Wouldn't It Make a Lovely Photograph, which I think if there is any statement or concept to this record overall, it is what he says at the end, which is the first time we hear him kind of belt out something, everything, even on Hey No Pressure, he's singing kind of laid back, Hey No Pressure. But the last song, at the very end, he says, you're never going to hear this song on the radio. And he says, repeats it a couple times, louder and louder. And then he says, but wouldn't it make a lovely photograph? And to me, that sentiment means, you know, music should be taken as a work of art. And I think that's missing a lot in today's world. Of course, there is a vinyl resurgence going on, even though there's also, on the other end of the spectrum, just singles and streaming music. But, you know, Ray really gets the fact that music is to be enjoyed as an art form. And he is a true, pure artist. And there are not many left, unfortunately, like him. And God bless the guy. I mean, I love everything this guy does. I give Ouroboros an 8 out of 10. I think it is a great album, and just another awesome maturation in his career. Again, I cannot wait to see him live. Everybody needs to hear this album and listen to it as a whole. You know, be patient with it and really just go along with the ride, guys, because it really is worth it. And if you haven't heard any other Ray LaMontagne music, start from the beginning and get all of it. The guy is brilliant. Guys, I really appreciate you listening to me, and click subscribe if you like this. I hope to have a lot more stuff coming, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.